James,
Raf.
silly season is on.
It is, yeah. So we're calling it. It's we're recording on. It's the 30th of September. By the time you listen to this, it will be October.
Yeah. Thank you to whoever pointed it out in the group chat, in the Discord. You were dead right. I think AFL Grand Final may well be the signifier, which obviously this is universal.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're in Europe, United States.
The Australian Football League Grand Final
may well be the start of
the series.
I'm happy to have open this to discussion. You can I'm open this to feedback, but I feel like the grand final of the AFL may well be officially the start of the silly season.
That's right. Yeah. Certainly by the time we cross the threshold into October, things are getting a bit silly. And let me be the first one to say, ladies and gentlemen,
happy silly season.
Pencils down. Pencils down. You can't be expected to complete any work at your job for the remainder of the year until, and we're not going to run through our entire framework justifying the length of silly season.
No.
But from the 1st of October through to the end of May, you are not obliged to do any work at your job.
Yeah, but right now, this is the best bit though, because right now, you may have already done it once or twice. Crack your fingers, get ready to type. Not sure if we can do that this side of the Christmas.
Yeah, this one might. Let's pick this up in the new year.
Yeah. Get ready to be hitting a few of those.
Hit a few of those. If we start now, before we know it, it'll be break. And then no one's back in January.
Exactly.
February, we got other stuff to deal with because we're kind of ramping back up. March, well, Easter starts being a concern.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, we'll get into that later. But point being, right now, you can start putting things off to April, May, June.
Put your feet up. You've earned it. All right.
Speaking of silly season.
Getting silly. We're in silly times.
Yeah. We're in silly times.
We're in silly times. Today's episode, well, it's about a couple of announcements that have sort of come through over the past few days. But I think the unifying idea is something that I don't know if we've sat down and we've mentioned it many times, but I don't know if we've sat down and defined it and really spoken about it in a philosophical way. And that's the idea of slop.
Slop, that's right. Okay, so on the agenda, Meta's new app, it's not its new app, Meta AI, their new feature on Meta AI app, which you didn't know about and probably haven't downloaded. So, it's basically a new app, which is Vibes, which is a
new social network.
Yeah, video slop feed. Basically Instagram Reels, except only AI.
Yep.
Cool. And as well as a bunch of other companies either have this in the works or have kind of features like that. Obviously, Google with YouTube, we'll get into that. OpenAI, their rumored AI social network. We're going to get into that as well as some other happenings with OpenAI, such as what are the other happenings?
Shopping.
Oh, that's right, shopping on OpenAI
and a
Stripe integration,
and a new platform they have called Pulse.
Pulse.
I think a lot of this kind of ties together.
And then we might get into Electronic Arts, EA Sports. Well, EA being acquired,
exactly.
Taken private.
Back into the world of video games, EA is being taken private in a leveraged buyout, which could be the biggest leveraged buyout in history. $55 billion. That's an extraordinary amount of money. So we'll loop back towards that at the end. That might be on the other side of the paywall if you're interested in that stuff. But
Meta Vibes.
Let's return. Yeah. So let me paint the picture. This was announced via a post from Alexander Wang. Alexander Wang was the guy who announced this one. And as a reminder, for those of you who've been listening down, or maybe you're tuning in your very first episode, Alexander Wang was the CEO of Scale AI, which was a very highly valued data labeling business. Their whole job was paying extremely low-paid workers in low-paying jurisdictions to sit down and manually trawl through a bunch of data, look at pictures of animals and be like, that's a dog, that's a cat, that's a dog. That's a cat. And then, pictures of what you do when you're doing capture tests to log into your accounts.
Yeah.
Except on a mass scale. Well, that is on a mass scale. But
including things like when given two options for like what is the best output, what sounds smartest, selecting the ones with like the M dashes and the ones that says
delve,
and it's not just this, but this.
Also, can I just say, I know we've talked about AI slop a bit. One of the things I do at work is I edit and publish op-eds on
ideas, mate.
Or ideas, or all and sundry topics. I would say 60% of them, 60 to 70% of them are littered with that specific construction. It's not X, it's Y.
Yeah.
It's not X, it's Y. Over and over and over.
Governance is not just important, it's essential to a well-functioning democracy.
And I know that, like, the joke, well, not a joke, but like the observation people make is that's clear evidence that someone has generated something with any LLM, but probably ChatGPT is kind of the biggest one. Yeah. But I've also seen it in Claude. I've seen
it's in Claude as well. Claude does it as well. Yeah. So the reason I bring this up though is I blame Scale AI for all this shit. I think it's the data labeling where this must have started.
Yeah, but it had to have started somewhere because it does pop up. But it's also one of those things where it makes you feel a bit crazy because it's kind of like, was this a construction that's in a lot of writing prior to AI becoming big?
No one told me to look out for that. We all independently
we all got the vibe that like it is saying this a lot.
Yeah. And it says it every time. It's not just a lot. It doesn't just say it a lot.
It says it all the time.
But actually,
it's not just sometimes.
Yeah. But it doesn't do that. It doesn't actually do it in that context.
No, it doesn't.
It's always like in the summary to reinforce its point.
Yeah.
It's not just adjective, it's really adjective.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's either a labeling problem or something about the reinforcement learning they've done. I don't think it's something that's like innate to the English language that has been like
and we've never noticed that every single summary in the world.
But the point is that, I get a lot of submissions that I read and I just go, you could have made some effort. The fact that you haven't edited that out suggests that you're not paying attention to what everyone is talking about, the craft of writing.
No, well, yes, there's that. But it's also like, how much have you... I'm not saying don't use AI.
No.
But like, how much of this have you written?
Exactly. I think like I'm not allergic to people submitting me things that they've used AI to help them write. That's fine. I'm like, you can't get that, put that genie back in the bottle, and I appreciate that. But it's like, that demonstrates to me that you haven't even fucking audited what you've sent me.
Yeah.
You've copy-pasted it straight out. You haven't even done like a pass.
It's not just lazy. It speaks to a mind that doesn't have unique thoughts.
Exactly.
More generally.
Exactly.
Even that's too complex, what I just said. It's way more like... it's more simplistic than that.
No, it's really simplistic. Yeah, you're right. It's always like, it's not just X. It's not just concept.
It's usually it's not just good, it's essential. It's kind of the construct.
That's the vibe it uses. Anyway, sorry, I'll loop back to Alexander Wang. For those of you that were listening to Data, he was the CEO of Scale AI, which is his data labeling business. They went through one of those bizarre, please don't sue us, acqui-hires, where Scale AI was, for all intents and purposes, kind of acquired by Meta, but also not really. They're still an independent entity. Mark Zuckerberg ripped Alexander Wang,
the founder,
out of Scale. He was the founder and CEO, and made him the head of Meta's superintelligence division. As we said in our earlier episode, the translation from I ran what was basically a sweatshop data farm where you manage a whole bunch of low-paid workers to label data to I'm building God.
In his early 30s?
He's very young. He's very young. And a lot of other AI people were kind of like, I don't know if this is the guy to be running what is like a fairly high-intensity
well, he's not like a researcher.
He's not a researcher guy. He's a hustler.
He's an entrepreneur.
He's an entrepreneur. Sorry, that's an entrepreneur. Anyway, he is the guy that's been put in charge of superintelligence, which is
the superintelligent division
of exactly. Obviously, Meta has a bunch of different bits.
We need to talk about Meta's naming. Sorry to interrupt again, but in some ways, it is cool. Facebook renames themselves Meta at the time when the metaverse was popping. They just went out there, just grabbed it. We're Meta now. We're grabbing the Meta from Metaverse that you're all talking about.
That's us.
What's the next thing in AI? It's super intelligence. Well, we got the super intelligence division.
Yeah.
And now with like the new app, which we're going to get to in a sec, what's everyone talking about with AI? Vibe coding, vibe this and that. Vibes. That's the name of the new app. But they just kind of grab the word and be like,
that's us.
We're using it.
That's ours. That's our big. Yeah. They do swing for the fences with their branding. I agree.
Anyway, he's running super intelligence, which is different to. I see how they're now like we've talked about this before. Like Jan LeCun, who is one of the godfathers of AI, works at Meta, more in their research division. The way they're splitting it out now is they're like that division that Jan LeCun runs is more like long term.
Yeah, like blue sky.
But as opposed to super intelligence and what that's short term.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. It does seem like they've divided up. Jan LeCun, who is, as we've talked about in the past, he's a French computer scientist, invented many of like the foundations of machine learning that underpin everything. He's a skeptic of LLMs and the transformer model. His thinking is, that's cool, but it's not going to get us to...
Well, it's not going to get us to super intelligence.
It's not going to get us to a genuine artificial intelligence. They're cool. I like them. They're neat, but they're not it. Unfortunately, the entire industry and the entire US stock market
and therefore,
global economy is unfortunately somewhat hinged on the idea that LLMs are important. It's very fair to say that the US economy would have gone through probably a recession if ChatGPT had not come out.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you can understand why Mark Zuckerberg would have been like, Jan, come here. Shut the fuck up. You need to shut the fuck up right now. And I will give you a lab with a bunch of really smart researchers where you can think about whatever crap you want to think about.
Yeah, you can go on whatever podcast you want and like shit on stuff, but like just a little quieter. Make sure the podcasts are not like don't go on the big ones. Just go on to all the nerdy ones that no one listens to.
Stay over there, have your lunch at a different time to everyone else in the office. Please don't talk to anyone else. And then Alexander Wang, who already ran this digital sweatshop, you can be the one who runs big quote super intelligence.
Yeah.
And you might be like, what the hell are you? Why have you gone this massive digression? We come back to the fact that Alexander Wang was the guy who boasted introducing Vibes, a endless short form video feed like TikTok, like Reels, like Snapchat, whatever, but it's exclusively for AI video.
Yeah. Yeah.
AI generated content.
So you can download it now. It's on the Meta AI app. Now this is basically what the Meta AI app is when you open it up.
And the other reason I gave you all that context is the general response on X where it was posted was, this is us like the slot machine. This is possibly the end of human civilization.
Yeah. So okay, I want to comment on that.
Yeah.
Because yes, that is the response. There's two responses at the moment. And some people are holding both simultaneously. And maybe what's that, the definition of this, that, and the other? Like of, it's like a wise man can
hold two contradictory ideas.
In his head or whatever. It's like, are they wise or are you fucking stupid? Because you're saying that it's the end of civilization as we know it. And also, this is shit and no one wants this.
Yeah.
I feel like those are the two responses and they're coming from the same people.
I think like the synthesis, thesis, antithesis, synthesis, Hegelian.
Of course.
Is people are kind of like, there's definitely a kind of person who's sort of like, this is objectively horrible.
But other people sucks, dumber than me.
But other people dumber than me are going to love it. Yeah. I think that's the overwhelming thesis.
What is it? We should talk about what the app.
Before we talk about the social impact.
Yeah.
It is powered by Midjourney. We've talked about Midjourney. Midjourney was an early big dog in the world of AI image generation. Still, it kind of depends, but I would say they're still very big in terms of just like generating AI images.
But these guys are nerds. These guys do genuinely seem to be just like nerds who want to build tech and not like, because, it's been locked up in Discord forever.
Yeah.
So they really did not try and raise heaps of money, become like massive, become multi-billion-dollar company, go on all the podcasts, like do all that. They just really do seem like they want to lock in and build.
Yeah, they call themselves a lab. They're very much
and like Meta I presumably can just offer them just GPU farms to just do their shit on, right?
Yeah.
Which is hence why they've partnered with Meta.
Yeah. So they, as you said, Midjourney, they do have a web interface now, but it's still, I think it's still in alpha. Like it's not formally released. Like you can use it and it's fully featured.
Like if you're doing UI at Midjourney, I think you're probably shunned by the rest of the folk.
Because yes, it started as like a Discord, basically. You generated images by messaging a bot on Discord.
Exactly. They're like, we are spending all of our, like we are working round the clock on our models and doodads and like, twiddling knobs and whatnot in like an insane kind of AI model. UI, like front end, like the thing that users interact with, who gives a fuck about that? Like,
Exactly.
You can just message a Discord bot.
And
then we're done. Okay, someone
Exactly.
spent half a day on it. Now we're back to our doodads.
You need to send a message to a Discord bot, which is kind of like code, essentially.
Yeah.
But, they were and are pretty... In fact, if you are thinking until recently when ChatGPT's image or whatever came out, if you were picturing like the AI image aesthetic, you might have been picturing something Midjourney.
Yeah. Well, in the early days when it was like, like we used to talk about like a babe elf or whatever, that was like Midjourney.
It was most likely Midjourney. They kind of recently, is in the past, like I think 3 months or so, 3 to 5 months, they've released a video. And the way that it works for Midjourney is that you generate an image. You don't just prompt a video. You generate an image first, and then you say animate this image. That's how Midjourney videos work. And it takes the image you generated and then like extrapolates what it might do as like a movie clip. So Meta had their own video stuff, but it was always bad. Like they're still behind on that. So they've partnered with Midjourney to do these animated, simple videos, which you can generate from within the Meta AI app and post to this feed, which is called Vibes.
Yeah. Vibes, yeah. As we said, it's Instagram Reels, but for AI-generated video. And you open it up, and the first time I opened it up, which is when it kind of first came out, it was animals doing human things.
Yeah.
Now, it was originally, I think, they had a whole feed worth of stuff that they'd put there. They'd kind of placed a bunch of content, obviously, so it wasn't just totally empty and the first user had to create the first piece of content. I guess that's kind of like early man. Once upon a time, when we turned from Homo erectus to Homo sapien or whatever, someone generated a piece of content. Anyway.
Sure. Yeah.
And basically every single one I saw when I first opened it was monkeys in roller skates doing like a roller skating dance.
Yeah, they like anytime you see like an AI video system, for some reason, in much the same way as a classic Dan Around thing, every time it's an AI agent, it's booking a holiday.
Yeah.
Every AI video social thing that's meant for public consumption always involves like cute animal, like a weird little chipmunk playing the drums or something.
Or a Labrador in kind of hip hop glasses and hat, like
wearing like the Kanye frames.
Yeah.
And I guess it's just an extrapolation of people like cute animal content. They always have.
I think it's also, if you're the business, it's safe.
It's very not risky.
Let's not get a human in there. Make sure that people understand it's AI because, it's monkeys kind of dressed like the queen at a tea party or whatever it is. So it's like, okay, I get that it's AI generated. I'm not trying to fool anyone, but there's no people in it. And it's fun and delightful.
Exactly. Yeah. It ticks a lot of boxes. It's appealing. And as you say, it's safe. No one's going to be like, you are doing disinformation.
No, exactly. Like there's a turtle on a surfboard, cool.
But it has robbed the world of a bit of wonder because what if someone shows me an actual
that was like
on a surfboard?
I mean, was that not a surfing dog? That was like, I reckon that the 6 o'clock news would go to that well about once every 3 months. And the very last segment of the 6 o'clock news is like, and on the Gold Coast, this Cowabunga canine, the locals are calling him.
Yeah, exactly. It's not news anymore. Is it like a French bulldog that learns how to skateboard? This used to be As you say, this was news material. This was the end of the TikTok news material. Now it's like I can ask fucking Meta Vibes to make that for me.
Yeah, it could be flying a friggin' hot air balloon or some crap.
Exactly.
In that weird, hyper real kind of way.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. Yeah.
Yeah, so like there's that. Now, onto the actual app itself, though. I'm in the camp of who is this for? Actually, let's go through the bull case first. And maybe the bull case is true. You know, this is V1. The bull case is actually this stuff is kind of gripping to be scrolling through and seeing all these interesting, weird videos.
Okay.
You know, that's point one. Point two is it will start to be more personalized to me. Maybe there's a niche, there's something that actually does kind of tickle me in some kind of way that, you know, the real world can't satisfy.
Yep.
Ideally, if Meta's putting it out, you'd hope in a non-sexual way. Assume non-sexual here. We can talk about sexual later. We can talk about perversion later.
Okay.
That's like kind of point two. Like maybe I'm just really would love to before bed
sit there
like watching, I don't know, like speakers liquefy or some crap like that. Some fantastical thing.
Sure.
It's just like it's the thing that tickles me.
I'd love seeing a feed of that, yeah.
And then step three is like, okay, cool, and this integrates with VR. Or, you know, and these fantasy worlds and being able to create using AI fantasy worlds that I'm kind of engaged with, especially when you kind of combine that with more the thing that you're seeing that other platforms are doing, that is like generating kind of like a computer game world space based on prompts that you can explore.
Yeah.
Maybe there's like...
This is like Google's Genie 3.
Yeah, Genie 3 stuff. Like this is kind of the steps in that direction. In particular, because Meta has like the VR aspect of it, and you know it's kind of leading. It's the steps towards that world.
Again, yeah, I see. Yeah, dragging it back to like the metaverse thing, which you know they haven't fully abandoned or disavowed. It's still chugging along. Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I think my point three is probably somewhat accurate. Like AI generated worlds and VR does seem to maybe like be work in some way if we ever are able to do the compute. Blah 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 blah. But who the fuck is looking at this app right now?
No, I can't imagine. No. And like, as we said, this is part of like the Meta AI app, which also includes, you know, you can talk to their llama models and stuff like that. And as we talked about a few months ago, they used to be able to look at prompts that people were doing publicly with Meta AI. And most of them appeared to be, as with any Facebook product where it's been scaled to fucking 1 billion users, thousands of posts from people who didn't seem to realize their posts were public and were talking to it like it was a real person and having seemingly some sort of mental event. Again, because to me it loops back to the fact that like I would imagine, at least for now, the market for someone who actually is like, I would like to watch a bunch of AI content.
And only that, not TikTok, not Instagram Reels, not just, or YouTube Shorts, not like AI stuff also mixed with non-AI stuff.
Exactly, that's the thing. Like,
it's like, no, I fucking hate the real stuff.
I don't like any of that. I only want to see AI generated by one particular system.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a lot, because if you open up TikTok or Reels or Facebook or whatever else right now, you will see a ton of content that's been generated with like Google's VO3 or whatever. And I think we talked about this the other week. Like, it seems like AI stuff is really colonizing like the ASMR world. The stuff that people used to actually do, like making slime and putting a paring knife through soap or whatever for like the ASMR perverts. A lot of that is being replaced by weird VO3 videos.
Yeah.
And it appears in a regular feed in amongst all the rest of your crap. I'm not going to make a value judgment on it, but there's a lot of, in the world of content, there's a lot of pink slime. The pink slime that goes into chicken McNuggets that fills out, you know, space, gives you a bit of inventory.
Yeah.
That's always going to be the case. There was slop on TV. That filled the gaps.
Yeah.
There's slop on social media. And when you've got short form video, there's going to be slop, and AI is great at filling those gaps.
Yeah. And to a certain extent, though, this is why I'm like less worried. People are like, oh, all anyone's going to watch is AI. Maybe that'll be the case. But like, isn't the flip side that there is, thinking of YouTube, how many videos would there be that have less than 30 views?
Oh,
hundreds of millions?
Maybe billions.
Maybe billions.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I think like the vast majority of YouTube videos fit into that category.
no, totally. And like sometimes, due to whatever the world around you, you end up seeing a video that has 13 views and it's like an hour and a half of kind of someone talking. And it's like, wow, Jesus Christ. So you throw AI into the mix. The vast majority of AI videos are going to get 3 views or whatever, and not get viewed at all. The cream will still rise to the top, and if the AI video is good, then good. Like, well, why does it matter that it's AI generated? Is my kind of overarching perspective on that.
Yeah. I mean, like,
the flip side is like, do we get into the world with like the hyper personalization thing? Which I'm like, this does kind of sound like, there's that meme of like it's like a cartoon or whatever, and like it's got like masturbation machine and like wine in one arm, like heroin in the other arm, and like VR with Harry Potter and porn on or whatever, and someone being like, it's just like when we invented the book, it's all just technology, everyone was mad or whatever, like.
I believe Aldous Huxley in Brave New World talks about that exact scenario down to the dot of what you just described.
But, so I do get that, yes, I can see some problems with like, well, I've talked about it at length, like people having fucking AI girlfriends and boyfriends and all this kind of stuff, and like, replacing human interaction with like fake human interaction. Yes.
I
guess to bring it back to the subject, a product of AI videos, a feed of AI videos, I just don't think is going to be successful.
No, yeah, totally.
It feels like fucking Clubhouse to me or whatever.
Which makes you wonder, because we're joking about the Meta AI one, and again, Meta has a rich history of releasing products that get no traction and then eventually either get folded or get like integrated into something else. Like, remember when Boomerang was a standalone app?
Yeah, that's right.
Like,
Boomerang was a standalone app.
Like, I don't know what their thinking was, where they were like, we're going to have a product that is like a video that plays for 3 seconds.
Yeah, like a 6-frame video that like loops.
And it was like you could send boomerangs to people through the app and whatever.
Yeah.
Obviously, they thought about like, what's a new gimmicky hyper-growth thing we can put together. And then eventually they were like, actually, this is like an Instagram feature. And lo and behold, it's something you can just make on Instagram. But there was a bit where it was an app. Yeah. And also, like, remember when Meta did they did their Snapchat clone and it was like Slingshot?
Slingshot, yeah. Well, it was different. Yeah, because you could only reply to messages. You couldn't send someone 2 messages. It was like you received a video from someone, so you could reply to their video with a single video, and now you couldn't message them anymore until they replied to you.
Yeah, okay. So again, it's all these apps are just trying to figure out what's like a addictive mode of communication.
Yeah,
that is like slightly gamified. Obviously, Snapchat sort of nailed it, and then Meta or Facebook at the time were kind of like, what's something we can do that has that kind of like growth FOMO weird dimension to it. But the point I'm making is that Meta's tried a whole bunch of these bizarre products. And in this case, I think it's pretty clear that I don't think they expect Vibes to be Instagram tier. They're just testing it out, seeing if like an all AI feed works, so that one day they can like slap it as a feed in Instagram.
Yeah. It could well just be that, like testing basically more the creation functions or whatever.
Like, yeah, totally. Seeing if like, what do people build on this? What do people like to consume on this? What kind of AI content is interesting to them? And then once it works, they might put it in Instagram, or maybe not. Maybe they'll just integrate that kind of content into the regular feed or whatever.
Yeah.
And you should be 100% ready for like one of those swiping fields on Instagram where it's currently like post, story, boomerang, whatever. One of them will be, if fucking maybe already, I don't know what the hell they're doing right now. Like, will be generate or like dream.
Yeah, it may well be in the, or like a feature when you press the kind of create button or whatever to like ask you what you want to make. which is kind of more what YouTube's doing. So YouTube is integrating VO3 with Shorts, but it's kind of like a feature of Shorts. See, the thing with YouTube that I always feel like they've never gone the full hawk with is like TikTok obviously is like, they integrated the media creation really well from the outset.
Yeah.
Like making the media. And to a certain extent, Instagram did it, but like kind of slower. Instagram started with filters basically. It started with kind of image editing to a certain extent. I mean, that was another thing that Instagram did. Did they buy it like Mosaic or one of those, like putting, what was it? Like turning images into squares or whatever?
Yeah.
And like stitching them together, stitch pick stuff. I feel like they either bought or they released their own app even for that.
Yeah.
For like stitching pictures together.
Oh, it's like a collage thing.
Yeah. Like,
which again is something you can just do from the app now.
Yeah. Point being like TikTok obviously from the outset was like, felt like a mini video editing platform.
Yeah.
Straight away. Like that was kind of built in.
And I know like ByteDance have put a lot of effort into, and obviously you've got
CapCut now, which is like split out.
They've made it into like a pretty full-featured mobile video editing software, which Instagram always seems like it's slightly behind.
Totally. And then YouTube always had like YouTube Studio, but it never really felt like an editing platform the way that TikTok did.
No.
But I think that what they're kind of doing with Shorts and VO3, this like integration is moving more in that direction. Like YouTube is moving more in that direction of like, you can now do the same thing as like this Meta vibes, except it's just going to be part of Shorts. You can like create an AI video to put on YouTube Shorts, as well as they're introducing like, put a still image of you and your friends and like animate it for Shorts, and like you can kind of prompt the different ways you want the image to animate. Not yet. This is all kind of coming soon, and like put various stylizations on it, like make it, look like friggin', what's the anime crap? Like make me and my
Studio
friends.
Ghibli.
Yeah, make the Ghiblify. I mean, I don't think they specifically say that, but like make me and my friend dancing into anime and like upload it to Shorts. But you can kind of do it within the app.
I think that was, it feels like that's, I know that YouTube has a bunch of, as you said, studio in-browser editing stuff. I don't know if it's just a matter of they realize it's like we don't really need more content. Like we're not at a shortage of people uploading YouTube videos.
Yeah. Something
must have told them it's really not worth us pursuing some sort of like fully featured editing suite in the browser. Because other like you can descriptors in the browser, obviously, and then in app like CapCut and TikTok's editing Canva. But I feel like YouTube has not felt like it was super necessary for them to really aggressively pursue that.
Yeah, despite the fact that they kind of have always had features, like, you always could, put your end, you could put your kind of like videos on the top, like suggested next videos and so like end frames and stuff like that.
And you can do a bunch of stuff. It's just definitely not a fully featured editing suite.
Yeah.
And they must have made the call. And maybe it was literally the fact of like, what are we solving for? Is there like a shortage? Is there some sort of bottleneck that people aren't making enough YouTube videos?
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Yeah, well, are there people who would be posting banger content to YouTube, but they just can't work out?
We are the default dumping ground for like any video content that has any amount of effort put into it. Like you don't get as much, obviously.
Yeah, but there's a reason why people post things on TikTok and not on YouTube Shorts, right? It's because you can, you can make it on your phone and let's just bash it up there.
Yeah.
Whereas like making stuff on your phone doesn't feel like something you do with YouTube.
Well, yeah, this is the problem they run and why they have YouTube Shorts and why they're investing in it, why they're adding Video 3, is they obviously realize and have realized a while ago, short form is what people like. And part of the short form experience is the great mobile editing experience. You should be able to pick up your phone and speak into it or punch in something you want to make or whatever and get it online really quickly.
Yeah.
Whereas YouTube itself, even though there's like 20 million minutes of video uploaded a day or whatever their current stat is, there's always a bit of friction. Like there's expertise required to make a good YouTube video.
Yeah. Speaking of, because like YouTube have done a lot of things right with regards to like how they worked out like licensed music. I think most people know, or maybe you don't, sorry, I shouldn't assume, but the intelligent thing that YouTube did is originally if you had some copyrighted music in your video, and it could be literally in the background. You're filming in a venue or you're filming a live gig and there's copyrighted music playing. Originally, we just take it down. They changed it so that if you have copyrighted music in your video, then the monetization, like the royalties that would otherwise go to the content creator, goes to the music creator. Instead of taking the video down or muting part of the video, the money just goes to whoever's material is playing. Which I'm like, everyone was like, well, it's pretty good result.
Yeah.
Good deal. But the reason I bring that up is because notably on Meta's Vibes, all the music playing was commercial music in the background of these videos. So in the background of these like AI generated dolphin kind of spinning around on skis or whatever, like on like an underwater snow park.
It's the kind of crap you would love to see.
Yeah, exactly. This kind of crap is like Megan the Stallion.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It's like, it's all commercial like bangers.
Yeah.
Which I found kind of interesting. Definitely added to it, made it better because it's like a good song, like an obviously good song, because by good I mean, you know, commercially successful, people love this song. And like some Fleetwood Mac stuff and whatever. But that was interesting to me that they didn't just go with like AI generated music.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it comes down to the fact that like part of the secret sauce of TikTok is commercial music.
Yeah.
And commercial music becoming memes and all that kind of stuff.
Mm.
And then all of a sudden, like, you know, the dream, I don't know if it's the dream of every artist, but if you are a artist or label that has a bunch of library content, surely your biggest dream right now is that like some song from your library becomes associated with some TikTok meme, and then all of a sudden there's 200 million videos on the TikTok attached to that song.
yeah,
That would be the dream.
like dreams.
Totally. And I mean, I don't know what the economics are, but I assume that would be it would trickle down anyway. But like that would be bigger than just like relying on your regular TikTok listening
Of
stream.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you get the payments from TikTok, and then you get everyone being like, that meme song is awesome. I'm
Yeah,
going to listen to it on Spotify.
And
Or
you get to tour.
I'm gonna tour off the back of the 15 seconds of my song that went viral.
Mm.
I mean, could anything be better than that? So, but I think that even Meta trying to build this like exclusively AI feed probably understands that like maybe it is great if we can offer a AI music pipe like workflow where you can generate a jaunty little song to go with your dolphin spinning around.
Mm.
But wouldn't it be better if it was Mo Bamba?
Mm. Bomboleo, bomboleo.
Exactly. Some Sean Paul temperature. You know, it just hits. And the dolphin is kind of like freaking out. He's got reggaeton sort of.
That is a classic of the genre, though, is like putting some monkeys in like Adidas tracksuits, posing in a kind of breakdance style pose with graffiti behind it and just like playing some fucking Flavor Flav or whatever. Really? That was like one, you know, I saw two of in that genre within 10 videos that I saw on. It's
on Vibes.
We're doing that on Vibes.
Okay.
We're doing the like, that was like the early 2000s skit show. You'd have white people kind of doing those poses, you know, in front of graffiti or whatever.
Now it's a bunch of 3D.
And doing a comedy rap.
AI generated monkeys.
Yeah.
And just to link it all back to the bigger thematics that we've been tapping on, again, Alexander Wang, head of the superintelligence division. Superintelligence, again, as a reminder, I mean, it's kind of like a meaningless word, but it kind of means more than an artificial general intelligence. We're talking about a computer system that is intelligent, smarter than people, and operates at a level so far beyond our comprehension at a velocity we can't even imagine to achieve feats that we could not even dream of.
Yes.
He announced a slop feed of videos of like monkeys hitting the rap squat in Adidas tracksuits.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is also who these like $100 million
exactly
packages are. These great minds of our time, literally like the smartest people in the world when it comes to AI, are working on.
Well, I think possibly some of the smartest people in the world, full stop.
Full stop.
In terms of raw brain power.
They accepted, they took the check with also some of the most. We've talked about how like the microprocessor is human beings' greatest accomplishment in a lot of ways with regards to its complexity and like how incredible it is.
Yep.
Clusters of these things, of the most advanced versions of these microprocessors, we're talking about the pinnacle of humanity is quite literally being put towards developing an app so that we can watch monkeys doing a rap squat in Adidas tracksuit with thick gold chains and a clock around their neck.
Well, yeah, exactly. While Public Enemy, and like they're a
yeah, boy.
like, you know, you can imagine the fucking meme of a 90s 40s mathematician with just like algebra equations just all floating around their head, and the strings like just like whatever that it ends with. Yeah, boy. So, but yeah, there was.
What are you doing?
Yeah, yeah. You got to say, like, those news stories were going around, and it was like people are being poached from OpenAI, they've been poached from Google, poached from XAI, poached from every leading lab, poached from academia, poached from with these like eye-popping fucking deals. These people are being paid allegedly 9 figures. If not, like, if you don't believe that, even though that was like the reported stuff, they're at least being paid 8 figures. These are people that are being paid tremendous amounts of money in weird financialized packages to come and work for Meta. And everyone was saying at the time, bro, you are going to go work on Instagram Reels slop and like ad targeting. That is going to be your job. Even though there's a cool super intelligence thing on. And hey presto.
Yeah, they're not beating the allegations.
They are not beating the allegations.
I imagine, 50% of them, as we said, Chinese born. So I imagine like...
I took a hard turn there.
No.
So all true. 50% of them are Chinese.
Yeah, but I imagine the mother of like one of them just being so proud when their son or daughter, you know, who's worked so hard, you know, from day one, gone to the Shanghai University mathematician, AI professor, just top marks the whole time, working his butt off, working in this AI lab that's now super famous and about to gets paid, you know, like, mum, you know, the package is, we're talking around 100 mil package.
We're talking bigger than China's GDP.
And she's so proud. She's so proud. And then he's like, and we're releasing our first product. Here it is.
Yeah, boy.
Is the mother like, oh,
I see.
Oh,
yeah.
And, oh,
yeah. That's true.
Anyway, we only got through Meta. I guess we touched on Google and YouTube and whatnot. OpenAI, though, there's a rumor of similar feats.
They're doing the same thing, so talk about that. But even before we get to the rumors, they have released a new product that is called Pulse. They've also released shopping integrations. We're going to talk about those things because they're kind of interesting on the consumer front. And then after that, we will talk about EA. So if you're interested...
EA Sports, it's in the game.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Thank you.
So if you want to hear that and you're not a paying subscriber of Downround Premium, what the hell are you doing?
What the heck?
Downround.net, head over there. It's $9.50 a month, AUD.
Yeah.
And you get
very cheap
extra episode every single week on top of the one that you're already getting. You get access to our Discord, and that's it. Those are the 2 things you get. Beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah, but 2 episodes. It's sick.
It's sick.
All right, later.